Welcome to this special episode of Red Moon Role-Playing, where we will play the adventure The Island of the Dead for KULT Divinity Lost. This adventure is found in the scenario book Taroticum and Other Tales, and is in stores now. Your game master for this adventure will be none other than Robin Liljenberg, who is the lead game designer on KULT Divinity Lost and who wrote this adventure. Joining Craig and Hjalmar will be our dear friend Jenny Bremberg, who you may know from our Neotech one-shot and our Coriolis campaign. Now, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and we will soon begin serving drinks. Enjoy your flight.
You're all on a plane on your way to New York. You have left Bangkok some hour ago, and you have a really long flight ahead of you. In your way to travel to New York, you need to make a stop in Canada. That's about 9 hours left before that stop. You three have all, because of different reasons, been visiting Thailand and are now on your way home. The plane is a really big plane, filled with people, mostly tourists, different flight attendants walking around and serving people and listening to complaints and looking around the plane to see that everything is working as it's supposed to. One of the characters, Wendy, is sitting in the business section of the plane. So you, Wendy, you have a big chair, a big seat, a lot of space, and nice things as quiet snacks, free drinks if you want to. There's a different feeling in here. You can hear the quiet music playing in the background and kind of relax in your chair. The only thing that really disturbs you at the moment is your companion, Brian, that is sitting beside you, looking at a horrible comedy and giving off this horrible laughing squeals, almost like a pig. Maybe you can present yourself, Wendy, and also tell us what you're thinking about in your seat on this plane in the beginning of this very long flight.
I certainly can, dear. So, I'm a late middle-aged stocky woman of medium height. I have fringed bleached blonde hair that runs down to my neck. My eyes are blue and friendly, and my face has a large, confidence-inspiring smile. I'm currently dressed in a suit with a white shirt. I'm sitting back and I'm trying to just relax, but I can't because, of course, Brian won't stop laughing like some kind of imbecile. I really want to tell him that. I really want to just tell him to shut up, but I can't do that. It wouldn't be polite. You have to be polite. You have to be nice on these sort of flights, so I just try and think of nothing. But it's very hard, because there's always some disturbance either from Brian, or the stewards, or the plane movement. I can't wait for this flight to be over, really.
A flight attendant, a young woman with blonde hair and a nice smile, comes forward to you and smiles politely. Excuse me, do you need anything?
I'm okay, sweetie. Don't you worry about me. Maybe maybe a little drink of something. What do you recommend?
Yeah, we have some really good vodka here.
Oh, go on then. I'll treat myself. I smile.
She smiles back and then she hurries away at the bar a little bit further down the aisle. Further down the plane, behind some curtains, There are rows of seats, cramped with people, children screaming and crying. Big tourists eating the horrible airplane food, plastic, green, tasteless, fat food that really tastes like microwave. Simon, you're sitting there cramped into the small space between two really, really big American women. They've been talking non-stop, with really loud voices this 1 hour, and even just thinking about 8 or 9 hours more with these two women around you, you can feel a migraine growing inside your brain. Who are you, and how do you feel?
Well, I felt pretty awful to begin with, but a couple of miniature bottles of vodka has kind of made it a bit better, but not completely okay. I'm a pretty decent looking guy, 175 centimeters, 5'7", I think it is. Pretty fit, sporting a healthy tan at the moment. Wearing a bandana and sunglasses, a pretty worn out t-shirt, but has a healthy kind of look about him. But there is something that seems to bother him a bit. He tries to focus beyond the chatter of the women beside him, and on the tray in front of him is a mobile phone, and he keeps like picking it up and putting it down, and switching it on and off and stuff like that. But he can't. It's like he doesn't want to have anything to do with it, but he still can't leave it be. Looking for a flight attendant to get another bottle of vodka.
Yeah, you can see one down the aisle. She's really busy with all the people. They're like one flight attendant for every 20 people here in the economic class. So you have to really make noise to catch her attention. I don't know how polite you are at this moment.
I think I pretty much resigned by now, so I'm just like trying. I've got the like headphones on and an iPad, trying to watch a movie or something, just to distract me from the constant buzzing of these two women sitting next to me. So I would love to have another drink, but I really can't be bothered. So I'll just try to wait and see if I can catch someone's eye. No rush.
Yeah, she continues with the kind of demanding young woman in front of her. Okay, Amber. The flight attendant are looking directly at you, and she asks, "Are you sure you really want all these bottles?" She have like 6 of them on a plate for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them, okay? It's a long flight. My friend here, she's been through some rough stuff, okay? Why do you gotta keep asking?
But your friend is sleeping.
Yeah, but she's gonna need him when she wakes up, okay?
Yeah, well. I give you to them. She just puts down everything on the small kind of table you have put down from the front seat. And she walks away. You can hear her really sighing, looking back at you, kind of disgusted. So, can you describe yourself, Amber? What you are thinking about just now?
I'm smiling with a little bit of satisfaction that I was actually able to pull that off. Well, Amber Wilson, I am fit, I'm long, with blonde hair, nice tan, green eyes. I dress in designer clothes, like to show a lot of skin. I have a black handbag, high-heeled shoes, and I'm sitting here right now, and my head just hurts like fuck. I've already had a vodka. This minute-sized vodka, and it doesn't really help. Nothing's really helping right now, because, we've been going at it a bit hard while we were in Thailand. And my friend next to me, Jennifer, is sleeping on my shoulder, and yeah, well, it was kind of true what I said to the flight attendant, that she had been through some rough stuff, but yeah, that was an understatement. I'm just happy she's asleep, but I kind of wish that I could sleep a bit as well, because, oh my god, baby's crying, please. And I start to unwrap and open one of the corks to one of the vodka bottles, and just like, please, can this help? And I just try to gulp it down really quickly, because vodka is okay, I guess, but I don't like it.
You can hear Jennifer as she snuggles against your shoulder, how she, in her sleep, talks to herself. You can hear her voice, kind of low, but anyway, no, please. And then you see this really big flash of light outside the window. You have the seat with the window out to the wing of the plane, and you can see how the turbine just flashes up. You can hear this kind of explosion from the wing, and you can feel how the plane starts to shudder, and how it starts to move really like turbulent.
What the fuck?
You can see how the flight attendant that were going upwards in the aisle between the seats, how she loses her balance and just falls down between some seats a bit way, and you can hear screams and people are really reacting to this, and black smoke and flames are coming from the wing.
I start screaming, what the fuck? Something's wrong with the wing!
I just sort of stand up in my seat. I just think to myself, no, not like this. This is not fair. This isn't fair. And I start scrambling for what the emergency things, aren't they supposed to come down? Oxygen. I just sort of give Brian an elbow to get him out of his comedy.
Yeah, while you try to stand up in the island and react to people, there are more people that are standing up and they have panic in their eyes. But the forces in the plane that are moving backwards and forwards around, you're trashed around like a doll in the aisle into someone, like a man in a costume, and your elbow just hits him right in the face. You don't know what happens really, because you're just tumbling around because of the forces. Somewhere you can hear a voice, a really, really scared voice, that it sounds that she's trying to make people sit down in their seats, but it's really hard to get anywhere now. You're on the floor, and the plane are just, it feels like it's moving in a spiral in the sky, like the pilot has lost all the control over the plane. Simon,
yes.
You're sitting in the middle of these two screaming women, and you're kind of locked in your seat. You had your seatbelt on, and these two women are kind of pushing you in the seats. You can't really move anyway, but you feel the forces as the plane are tumbling around in the sky. What are you doing?
I desperately try to put my elbows into the sides of them so that they will leave me some space at least, I would love to get up and try to, help people. Try to see if there's anything I could do, but this is just too much right now. I'm desperately just clawing at the two fat women at my sides, just trying to get them out of my face and out of my way.
And Amber, you can feel Jennifer's hand gripping yours. as the plane are moving downwards. People are screaming and there are total chaos in the plane. But you can hear through the speakers a voice that tries to remain calm, but it's shaken. The pilot. You can hear him, please remain calm. We are trying to land the plane. And then his voice just stops and everything turns into this chaos when the plane are just tumbling down the sky. You can feel death.
I hold on to Jennifer as hard as I can. My lungs are aching, I'm not sure why, but it's probably because I'm screaming. I'm lost in what's going on.
Then it all gets dark. And when you wake up again, Amber, you can feel water. You can see how half of the plane have been broken. And you're sitting with your back downwards while water is kind of floating into the plane while it's sinking down in the sea. People around you, some people aren't really people anymore. They're just like blood and bone. And some are screaming and some are trying to get up. The water is just flushing in.
Fuck.
Jennifer are nowhere to be seen.
Jennifer? And I try to just unclasp my belt.
Yeah.
And get up and can I get out? Is there an opening in the plane or what?
Behind you there is like a 15-meter deep hole into the plane. There are bodies down there. Water is kind of heavily flushing into the plane. And you can feel how the water now up to your knees. Not enough to swim yet.
I like stumble between the seats, and I just try to get out. I mean I'm trying to look for Jennifer among the bodies or things. I mean, she was with me. She was just there. She was holding my hand. She has to be nearby. She couldn't have left without me.
As you're trying to stand up or half climb up the hull.
Yeah.
You can't really see Jennifer anywhere. You can see a man. And his head are kind of missing. It's just his neck left. Something have kind of taken it. And it feels really strange and alien in this moment to just stand there beside him while you're trying to understand what you're going to do. Then the water just fills up the plane. You can see a guy a little bit away that have been taking himself out from the seats and are kind of trying to get hold of anything to get some kind of control. Simon, you have getting grip of this emergency box. It's probably gonna float. You can probably float with this. You feel the water rushing in now. There's just moments left before this plane is going to be totally underwater, and you have this box in your hands.
Do I see anyone else standing alive in the plane?
You can see a beautiful girl standing some seats behind you with tears running down her face, and she looks so shocked and so hurt. It's really painful to look at her.
Hey, you! Hey, you, girl! Blondie!
What?
Under your seat, there's a package! Grab it! We gotta get out of here!
My seat?
Yeah! Oh, just grab it! Under the seat is a emergency package. Just grab it and go! We need to go! Now! Now! Do you want to die? Come on!
I'm trying to scramble to it as quickly as I can to get it out of there. Do I find it? Is there a life jacket there or what?
There's a life suit.
And I take it out and I try to get it out of the plastic and just... Where do we go?
I see her struggle with it, and can I get my life jacket on fairly quickly? Because I actually do read the instruction.
Actually, there's not a life jacket you have in your hands.
No?
It's a big box, like a floating plastic box.
Does it say anything? Does it have any labels?
Yeah, emergency with big white letters on red, so it's probably gonna float as good as a life suit. You don't know what the life suit went. Probably it's left under the dead bodies of the big fat women you sat with, but the water is just flushing in now, and you don't really have time anymore to think about it. You just feel how the water is kind of getting hold of you both, and how you suddenly, from being in the air, are underwater, but both are kind of floating upwards with the things you have on you, half-ripped life suit and the emergency box.
And I just close my eyes, trying to kick my legs upwards towards the light.
I take a deep breath before everything, goes down, and try to push from the plane in any direction, just anywhere.
You do. Wendy, you wake up on the water. You wake up by feeling the water in your lungs.
I cough as best I can and try and see what's going on. Where am I? What's happening?
It only gets worse. You're on the water and you're coughing. You try to breathe, but there are no air to breathe. It's only water down there, so you can see darkness. You can see light somewhere.
I swim upwards, try and get up.
You feel someone grabbing your leg, trying to get with you upwards, but the person are kind of dragging you down instead.
I kick hard. I get my leg up, and whatever it is, whoever it is, I kick as hard as I can. I need to live. They don't.
You kick, and you feel someone loosen his or her grip, and you swim upwards. Upwards. At least you think it's upwards and not down into the depths of the sea. And then you feel suddenly how your head kind of gets over the water's edge, and you are out in the stormy sea. You can see something that's floating near you, something to grab hold on.
I swim towards it. I try and swim towards it as fast as I can.
Your suit is kind of weighing you down as you manage to swim. You can see there are parts of the wreckage everywhere, burning parts of the airplane. And also people screaming. Some seems just to float around, dead, mutilated. You can also see how parts of the airplane hull is giving these inhuman screams as it's point upwards and are being pulled down by the forces of the water, pulled down in the sea.
I hold it tight and I start trying to swim away from the plane. I've seen TV. Don't want to be near the suction. I need to start getting away now.
As you do, so you feel something in this thing you have. It's like a handle.
Can I pull it?
You can.
Like an emergency, I pull it.
You pull it and the box explodes with a bang into this boat instead. A big yellow rubber boat that you still have some kind of hold of by the handle and can drag yourself into.
I drag myself in as best I can, and I kind of throw off my jacket because I can feel it's weighing me down, and I just sort of collapse into this boat.
You can see hundreds of people around you. Many are screaming at you to save them. Help, help me please. A woman is kind of trying to hold up the body of a child. You don't know if the child is living or dead. You can see a blonde woman half floating near you, and she seems alive, but she's really afraid. She have a life vest on her. Amber, you look right into the eyes of these kind blue eyes of a middle-aged woman. What do you do?
Help! And I try to... I reach up my arms towards you. Come on, help me out!
I kind of pause for a moment, and then I smile, and I offer a hand. Okay, sweetie, don't worry, darling. Here you go. Hold on to my hand. Come on, you can come up. Okay.
And I crawl up on the side of the boat, and I just slump over in it. My whole body just hurts, but still I crawl up to one of the sides, and I look out at all these people in the ocean, and I shout, Jennifer! Jennifer! Trying to find her, trying to see her out there.
At the other side of the boat, Simon climbs in on the boat with his box by himself. There are so many people. They could never be brought on the boat. Every one of them. You can't save everyone here.
As soon as Simon gets on, sort of grit my teeth, and I just start trying to paddle the boat away. Paddle it away. Away from
What are you doing? We need to help people.
No, we don't, darling. Just shh, young man. And
we need.
paddling.
There's like
Jennifer.
There's like hundreds of people in the water. We need to help them.
They can help themselves, darling. They'll be fine. We need to look after us in this small boat, which can take 3 people. And I just start.
Not really. It fits like 15 people.
I'm just paddling.
The waves are helping you, Wendy. The big waves are pushing you further and further away from the crash site.
Oh.
I run to the other direction. I run to the edge and try to see if there's anyone I can reach, or I'm calling out desperately, over here, just to get people to try to swim towards us.
Simon, you can see a girl, maybe 13 years old, that are floating your way. She had been brought by a wave against you, and she seems alive. She's screaming. You could maybe reach her.
I'm desperately trying to reach her. Of course.
You're acting under pressure.
Rolling the dice. I get 14 plus 2.
You get a really good grip of this girl. You take her hand. She's kind of light, not so heavy, so you can drag her aboard the boat without any problems at all. It's first when you drag her over the boat that you notice that something is missing. Her both legs are cut under her knees. Just the stumps are left. They are not bleeding, and it seems that the girl doesn't really notice that she have been amputated in the crash. She just kind of hugs you and cries and seems really happy to be saved.
You're gonna be okay, sweetie. Don't worry. We'll fix this. We're gonna get you home safely. I'm kind of, hugging her and kind of look over at the other guys in the boat. Like,
Oh my god, your fucking legs! Don't you have anything in the box?
open it.
I opened the box, the emergency box.
Yeah, let us open the box. Okay, it's kind of dark now, so it's not so easy to see what the box contains. But you can feel that there are a lot of things in it. After feeling around in the box a while, you find something that seems to be a bag of some sort. And when you get that up from the box, you can see it's a first aid kit.
I throw it at Simon.
Be careful. What if you've thrown it overboard?
Just
This is not the time to panic.
do her up.
Yeah. I look at her. Is she still with us? Is she still breathing?
Yeah, but she's really pale. She only whispers in your ear, please save me. Save me.
I keep talking to her. Yes, everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna get home. Don't worry about it. And I try to, do I have a belt on me or something?
Maybe
on
on
my,
you?
Yeah, I was thinking in my pants or something.
Yeah.
And in that case, I take it off and start, tying it around one of her legs at least and pulling as hard as I can.
Yeah. She screams when you do that, really high pitch, and then she just lose her consciousness and kind of fall into some kind of darkness.
Any one of you have a belt or a strap of any kind? We need to stop the bleeding from her legs.
I take in a deep breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. I haven't really been paying attention to any of this. I've stopped paddling away, though. I felt satisfied when the waves started taking us away. I idly focus on this young man, and I reach for my belt that I do have. I hand it over. Well, sweetie, if you think that will help. What a nice young man you are.
As you do so, Wendy, you can see lights. They seem to be coming nearer, closer the crash site. Like dim lights, almost like from a ship.
Have we got... I go and look over at this emergency box that was opened. What else is in there other than first aid stuff? Is there like a flare?
You try to find it in the box, and after a while you get hold of something that feels like a pistol. I guess you just try to shoot it in the sky, like in your...
Yes.
Yeah. When you do it, you notice there are no bullets in it. There had to be some cartridges in the box or something.
Yeah.
When you're searching the box, you find a flashlight. And when you're lightening that, you can see there are a package with 4 cartridges in the box.
I fumble about a bit, but I attempt to load one in as best I can and try and fire this flare gun.
As she puts back the flashlight after holding onto the gun to shoot it up in the air, I grab the flashlight and I shine out in the water, and I try to keep looking for Jennifer, just see in her face or someone around her that looks like her.
They are so far away, Amber. You can't really see anyone anymore. Just like movements out there in the water. The ship. It's a ship. Seems to come to the crash site and stops there. Probably helping the survivors. Wendy? Did you shoot up in the sky?
Yes, I did.
You can see the red kind of signal that explodes up in the sky and then disappear in the darkness. You don't know if anyone noticed.
I'll just have to load up another one and do it again.
You fire off another shot. The waves are simultaneously taking you further and further away from the crash site. You can see the lights from the ship are diminishing, disappearing, as your signal shot in the sky. It's just darkness around you, darkness and more dark water and waves.
I just put down the gun and slump back and stare at the sky.
I'm trying desperately to tie her legs with both the belts. But I'm not gonna bet any money that she'll survive, given that both her legs been cut off, but I actually just sit there and stroke her hair and talk to her.
Okay, so you're not spending any resources from the first aid kit to save her?
Would I deem it possible?
Yeah, maybe.
In that case, I do it.
Okay. Then I mark off one of the dots here. You can all open up your character sheets if you haven't done that. And I want every one of you to make a roll for Keep It Together to see how you're handling this incredible, traumatizing situation you're in.
So I roll 21.
20.
Oh, Wendy, you are feeling really, really okay.
You know I am, it's funny. Everything seems quieter. I think it's better this way. That's how I feel inside, at least. For now.
Maybe you were meant to travel to this dark, stormy sea.
I admit there was a little voice in my head just as we crashed, saying, "This is what you get. This is what you get."
I rolled 12.
Okay, Amber. You're going to choose an condition under Keep It Together. We can take the conditions this one time. When you roll 10 to 14 on Keep It Together to resist, for example, traumatic experiences, you have to choose a condition. And in this case, you can choose between becoming angry at someone, becoming sad, becoming scared, becoming guilt-ridden, becoming obsessed by whatever caused this trauma, becoming distracted, like distracted and apathetic, or you can choose to become haunted by this experience later.
I think I choose to become sad. Yeah, terribly sad. Because I feel like, I don't know. If that was a boat, I hope that Jennifer was saved, but she wasn't there when I woke up and she wouldn't have left without me, so I'm really, really worried about her.
Then you also lower your stability one step. So you're now uneasy.
Which means -1 on all rolls.
Every disadvantage rolls. For the sake of disadvantages, you don't have them written anywhere. The only one that knows the disadvantages of this scenario is me, the Game Master. So maybe I will ask you to roll later, and then you will see the effects of your disadvantages.
Very interesting.
I rolled 20.
Simon, you are kind of okay anyway. I don't know why you are that. Maybe it's because you have control in some way. Taking care of this girl now, focusing on her instead of focusing on yourself. Maybe you kind of feel that you deserve this in some way. Or maybe this was the greatest way to escape your fate in New York as possible. I don't know. How do you feel?
Just as you said, I'm pretty thankful to have the girl to focus on, because I have no idea what I would do without her. I think I'm probably deserve this. This is my punishment for everything. And for actually... I feel a twinge of regret as well, as I never did call Janet back when I told her I would. And now it might be too late.
Wendy, you have a box full of goodies in your hands. Amber seems to be crying on something anymore, crying more than she did before. But you have this box with a lot of things in it. And I will tell you everyone what's in the box. So you guys can see what's in the box. We have a lot of pictures of the
Yes.
things in the box here. So we have a rope, a sturdy, robust rope. We have a first aid kit that Simon have been using up supplies in, taking anesthetics, painkillers, bandages to try to save the girl's life. We have a flashlight, waterproof flashlight, a flare gun, now with 2 cartridges left, a knife. It's more of a multi-knife for everything. Then you have 24 water bottles, half-liter water bottles, a roll of duct tape, and also a package with 24 food rations. Probably not very tasty, but it can keep you alive anyway. What are you doing with the things, Wendy?
I take a deep breath as I look everything over. I assume at this point the young lady stopped using the flashlight, so I'll kind of reach over, grab it, look things over.
I just let her take it.
Well, we have some things here, my dears, that will help us out. I give everyone a smile, and I reach for the knife, and I just sort of play with it a little, and I just idly... At this point I put back on my suit jacket because it's getting cold, and even the cold of the jacket is preferable to the cold of the elements. And I just kind of slip the knife in there, quite easily.
So the knife is in your hands now.
The other things I'll leave for now.
I guess it's in Simon's care.
Yep.
I also at this point put back the flare gun. We might want to save those, dears. We might need them.
I just nod absent-mindedly because I'm not really paying any attention to what the others are doing.
Yeah. So I guess you let the other things be left in the box, Wendy.
I shall for now. No need to go crazy. I lie back a bit. I feel tired. Do I think I'm going to be able to sleep? Maybe.
You're all kind of wet, and it's not really warm out here in the sea. It's windy, and you have no real shelter, just boats that are moving upwards and downwards, down with the waves. If you weren't seasick before, you probably are now. Feeling at least that your bowels are like moving with every wave that comes and pushes the boat upwards.
I have a funny thought to myself. My phone was charged. Well, the last time it was plugged in on the plane. I pat myself down. Do I even still have it on me?
Yeah, did you keep it in your suit, or?
I would have had it in my suit. It was just finished charging, I seem to remember.
Then if it's waterproof, it probably worked. Depends on which brand you use.
Well, I happen to have an iPhone 4S.
Yeah, those aren't really waterproof, are they?
Oh dear. As I look at it, does it seem as if perhaps broken?
I guess when you try to start it, it just like flimmers. Maybe if you let it dry some hours.
Ah yes, I've heard about that. I'll put it back. And in the silence, I look to Amber. And I say, what was your name again, sweetie?
I sort of dry my nose and I shiver a bit. I feel like the sort of movement of the sea is kind of lulling me away. I'm almost falling asleep because of the exhaustion. I'm Amber.
Amber. That's a nice name. Don't worry, Amber. You go to sleep. We're gonna be fine.
And I find that kind of comforting, perhaps because that's what I want to hear. And I feel like I don't have any energy to cry anymore. But I lie down on the side and I lean towards this woman who helped me. Talks to me.
I'll kind of take her in and pat her hair. And I'll look at the young man as well, and I'll just start humming a little lullaby.
Simon, you are holding the cold body of the young girl. While you suddenly see something further away, it seems that you are traveling in that direction. You can see silhouettes of mountains, land. You're coming closer to it, like an island or something.
Lady? Lady? Is that for real? I point towards where I believe I see the shapes. Is that what I think it is?
I'll turn and try and see, but I'm not very good with I have some. Apparently, I might have needed glasses for some time, but I've been a bit too vain to go for it, so I kind of squint. Like, what?
I think that's an island. I think we're safe. I think we're gonna do this. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go on then. If you're a strong man, you paddle on the left. I'll paddle on the right. Okay. I start trying to do a row motion with my hand and get the boat moving in this direction.
Yeah. You're both paddling for your life, and also the waves are helping you, driving you closer and closer to this island. Even you, Wendy, can see that it actually is an island. Then you get stuck on something. You are maybe 500 meters from the beach.
No.
And the boat are getting stuck on something. You can hear how the rubber tears underwards.
I get the flashlight and try and shine it round like, no, what are we on?
You can see the water is really, really green when you light it up. and you can see white corals, reefs under the boat. It seems to be like a long wall here, kind of shielding this beach from the sea.
Is there a way to get the boat off and get around this?
No, you need to climb out of the boat and kind of drag it over. It has to be like not so deep at all on the other side of the reef. It's kind of shallow.
Oh. Young man, I think you can get in the water, maybe.
Yeah. Yes. I kind of slide over the edge, keeping still a steady hold of the... I guess there's like ropes or something in the side of the boat. So just to be sure. And try to see if I can reach the bottom without going under.
When you put your feet down in the coral reef, you have only sandals on you. So you actually need to act on the pressure here. The pressure is the corals. They are pretty sharp. There's a risk you will cut up your feet if you aren't really careful.
And that's reflexes?
Coolness. Oh, actually, it's reflex sounds good here. You can use roll for avoid harm instead.
14.
You manage to carefully climb down from the boat in the coral reef and find somewhere to stand. Did you feel when you're like kind of walking with the boat, that one of your sandals are slipping off your feet?
I stop and like try to, find it with my foot. Like, no, I need that. No.
Yeah, it seemed to be lost in the water. You don't really know. In the darkness under the boat, you don't know.
Well, I have been backpacking through Thailand a lot and know that walking in these kind of waters without any shoes on it's a pretty bad idea. So I will continue on, but I need to be really, really careful where I put my foot down.
You can kind of drag the boat now. When you're out of it, it's lighter, so you can drag it over the coral reef. You can see on the boat it's probably gonna... The air are like pushing out of the boat every second now because of the holes probably on the bottom of the boat, but you can actually drag the other ones over the walls of the coral reef to the water where they can get out without risking cutting up their feet.
Yeah.
Amber, you have high heels on you.
And Wendy sort of leaves me, I lie down for a bit, and as I feel the coral reef under us, or whatever it is, I mean, something just bumping the boat, I kind of first panic, like, what was that? Thinking it was some kind of shark maybe or something, but I don't know, as it's obviously quite still, it's firm. I understand that it's probably, some sort of stone. And I just feel the combined motion of the water and me already being hungover and feeling like shit. I just say, oh my god, and I crawl over to one side of the raft and I just heave over the side and just puke out with all the salt water. Yeah.
Well, I frown a little at this, but I try and assist Simon, at least as he's moving forward the boat from the outside. I'm trying to paddle it along and...
I don't even know if my shoes are on still, because I might as well have kicked them off when I was swimming. Most likely. I'm probably barefoot, and I just take that, and then I see the emergency supplies, and I see a water bottle rolling around, and I don't help at all right now. I'm just taking a water bottle and trying to drink.
Yeah. And it's not even cold.
At least it's cold outside. I mean, around me it's not like... I don't think I care about that now, but I just feel horrible.
The other ones are dragging the boat up to the beach. You're on a beach with sand. Nice sand. Could be like a paradise beach, this beach. There are some branches and things like that. Things that have been pulled up by the water at the beach. And then like 50 meters up the beach, there are a dense jungle forest. You can see mountains, silhouettes of mountains rising hundreds of meters up in the middle of the island. And actually, in these mountains, you can see a light. Some type of light.
Looks like maybe it's not uninhabited. Well then, okay, let's get on this beach. Let's find some shelter. And if we can do that, then we can at least rest and plan in the morning what we do, my dears.
You have listened to a special episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the adventure The Island of the Dead for KULT Divinity Lost. KULT is published by Helmgast. The music is from the official KULT soundtrack, featuring Atrium Carceri, Mechanoreceptor, Mind Divided, Warfield, Howler, Second Escape, Michael Idehall, Precision Field, Zwaga, Occult Cow Demise, Pandoras Black Book, and Tantrick Ape, and is used with permission from Helmgast. Finally, a big thank you to all of our Patreon backers. Creating all this content would not be possible without your generous support on Patreon. You give us so much energy, help us cover our costs, and open up time to record and edit. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And remember, death is only the beginning.